Hey y'all, I'm Nikki. I am the star director of the Team Butterfly Kisses. I've been with Scentsy since March of 2020, and I'm going to go over focus on the five. I did this during SFR this past year, and super excited to share it with y'all. I do have ADHD, so I have my notes over here. So if you keep seeing me look to the side, it's because I had to keep notes for my own self. So focus on the five is something that Scentsy actually has a training on in their workstation. If you haven't tried it before with your team, I'd recommend trying it. It was a great opportunity for me to really dive deep into it when I presented at SFR because then I could bring pieces back to my team that I knew needed it. So Henry Ford says, coming together is a beginning, keeping together is progress, working together is success. So I love that quote because that's what I feel these five fundamentals do with our business. Excuse me. So when you want to be here because you want to build a strong, successful team. There are five fundamentals to building a strong and successful team. They're prepare, discover, coach, connect, and replicate, or as I call, wash, rinse, repeat. Now, the fundamentals seem pretty basic because they are. One builds off of one another, and then you create a strong foundation for not only yourself, but then to teach your team how to build that same strong foundation. With these action steps, you'll be able to support your team, engage your team, and be able to help them with their goals. Sorry. So let's go over the first one, prepare. So when you prepare, you're really making a system. Yeah, that scary word. We all don't like it. I especially don't like it. So what you want to remember is what you do for one, you want to be able to do for 100. Now, that's a pretty scary number, especially if you're a new leader. I can say, being that I didn't want to grow a team, I didn't want to join leadership in any shape or form, and then triple promoting to star consultant my first month, my plans changed. So then what I had to learn how to do for one, I had to learn to do for now almost a team of 100, literally. So when you implement these systems, you want to start identifying tasks that you do often, whether that's PRV cards, whether that's reaching out to customers on certain days. Some people call this time blocking. You have to start showing how do you want to prepare your business and how do you want to run it most effectively and the best to your time. So what does a system look like? It can be a follow-up system. A lot of us just got rid of Amy because Amy's no longer available. I personally use an Excel sheet, and it's all color-coded because I'm a nerd. How do you keep track of those conversations for sponsoring or parties, etc.? Yet again, I use an Excel sheet. I am a pen and paper person, so I have everything also in a planner. But then I put in an Excel sheet because I can hit Control F and I can find anything I want at that very moment with a name, particular notes, etc. With me also writing it down twice helps me remember it more often just because of my ADHD. When you have those kind of systems, though, it helps you streamline your work to grow with you, change, or get rid of and completely change a system. So as a leader, you want to think of what are some systems I need. One of them could be a new consultant packet. Mine includes, and I forgot to grab it. I don't see one around handy. Oh, I do have a handy one. Sorry. So, sorry about that. My system includes having a personalized note from me, welcoming them to the team. My team is Butterfly Kisses. It has a cute little butterfly that has seeds inside of them. Amazon. And it says, happy to have you in the Butterfly Kisses team. Looking forward to watching you grow. Put this butterfly in soil and water and grow flowers. Because like a business, like a person, it takes time to grow your business. It takes time to grow your team. So I try to put the sentimental value in there because butterflies are important to me. I also put in a 70-day postcard for Sensational Start, and I send them an email because we want to make sure we're reaching many people in different ways of communication. But again, keeping it simple, because what you want to do for one, you want to be able to replicate and do for 100. So that's how I do that system. Everyone has different welcome packets. I always suggest welcome packets. So if you don't have a system for that, ask your sponsor, ask your upline, anyone. They'll be able to tell you what their system is if they have one. And you can also YouTube it. So the next step, that's preparing. The next step of the foundations are discovering. This is an opportunity to learn about yourself and your new teammate, or even current teamies. What you want to do is schedule a time to discover their story and their motivations. Make sure that you share yours as well, because that's how you then can connect and be relatable. Sorry, I have kids awake too. Sorry. It's important when you do this to be authentic and simple. Do not try to pretend to be someone you are not. People can read through it. It's a time to establish trust and excitement in this business. One of the things I always emphasize on is listen to their story. Why did they join? They're going to tell you a reason, and then try to dig in deeper. Why is that important to you? It usually becomes about 7 layers deep is the give or take rule of what their real why is. And then that's when you can build off their goals, what they're in this for, not your goals, what they want to do, what they need in their life. That's why they wanted to join. So when you're writing these down, you can make, like I said, I have also an Excel sheet on teamies that I've had coaching calls with or my frontline. And I can easily have this conversation with somebody that I've already had a conversation with. So I review the questions in discovery. Who are they? What are their goals? Where do they plan to focus their efforts? When do they want to work their business? Is it the weekend? Is it the night? Is it when the kids are at school? Because like all my 4 kids are at school right now, so I work while they're at school. Why did they join Scentsy? And how can you support them? They might not know the answer of how right away, but just you asking them puts that in the back of their mind and says, someone asked me how to support myself. Well, I wonder if they can support me now. If you're a new leader or not quite a leader yet, and you've sponsored someone, and you don't have an accountability partner, ask your sponsor, hey, I would love to practice on you, and say, I'm looking at sponsoring conversations. Can I practice and have these conversations with you? Most likely they're going to say yes, because it's an opportunity for them to give you feedback. It's an opportunity for them to coach you, for you to grow, for you to connect, all the things that our fundamentals cover. And the biggest thing we want to do at the end is, yet again, replicate, wash, rinse, repeat. So if they can help you in that process, absolutely they want to help you. And I talk fast, so I apologize. I probably will be done shorter than most people. So the next foundation is coaching. And what I love about coaching is it's not a one-time event. It's a process. Making goals in that coaching time and then following up when they want to complete those goals by. So Scentsy focuses on, and I wrote this down, Scentsy focuses on the TIME acronym: teach, illustrate, mentor, empower. So teach and show them, explain the process of something. Illustrate, show them the task or behavior you want them to duplicate. Mentor, have them do it, show you after, so you can provide feedback. Now we're giving positive feedback. We're not going to be like, you absolutely did it wrong. No, it might work for them and not you, and that's okay. And then, of course, empower. What they do for work, you want to support and encourage. Now, when they're setting their goals during this time, that's a large part of coaching. You want to create a plan and have them be accountable. This is a good opportunity for them to get an accountability partner. I've had ones that I've outgrown, ones that I've kept for longer. It's all going to depend on your journey. Sorry. So when setting goals, one of the biggest things that I work in healthcare is doing SMART goals: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. Because when someone says, I just want to do this as something to earn a little bit extra money, why is that important? How much money are they looking to really earn? If you make it more detail oriented, like I want to pay for my mortgage with this company, then you have a exactly what, like a deadline. You want to do it monthly, you know how much you want to make, and you have to figure out how much PRV, etc. you need to do to get that. It becomes a SMART goal. And again, emphasizing always that this business is about their goals and their efforts put forth, not what you need them to do. I'm sorry, I have a frog in my throat. So once they have these goals, I want you to tell them to post them everywhere. Their Facebook page, their personal, their group, tell their mom, tell their best friend, whether they're in Scentsy or not. And then check in with them frequently and consistently. How can you support them? Yet again, go back to that support. This is the perfect opportunity for them to also gain an accountability partner. You're going to hear what their goals are. You're going to hear what their needs are. And you might have another teammate that you've had these conversations with already, and they're telling you similar goals, similar needs, etc. And you can say, hey, I think this would be a great accountability partner. Are you up for something like that? Explain what that is. And then you're yet again connecting your village together. And finally, when it comes to goal setting, make sure when you recognize them, it's personalized. I love that my sponsor is the recognition queen. She knows that my love language is words of affirmation, and I love seeing my name everywhere. I love being told that I'm doing a good job. I have an Excel sheet, yet again, another Excel sheet system, where I have my teamies' names who have taken the love language test, and I have what their love language is, so I can recognize them in the way that is best for them, that they feel good about it. So there's so many different options. Get creative. Pinterest is there. Your uplines are there. We're all there to help. Finally, number 4 is connect. There are so many different ways to connect. We keep bringing that up through the other fundamentals. Some examples within Scentsy is connect with new teamies, connect teammates to each other, yet again, that accountability. Connect your team to resources and tools to help them learn and grow. YouTube, Training Tuesdays. And then connect teamies to home office events like World Tour or SFR or anything like that. Incentive trips. It's a great way for people to learn about each other and make that connection and feel like they're a part of a community. One of the ways I connect with a lot of my teamies is I have a Facebook group and I hold monthly meetings. I also sometimes run a coffee and talkie just to talk about anything that's Scentsy or non-Scentsy, because our personal life takes a toll on what we do in our business life. And if things are going great, everything looks great. If everything's not looking, like if someone runs consistent numbers and they're at 0, something, like I'm going to check in with them and say, hey, are you okay? Like, it doesn't have to be about Scentsy related, just are you okay? But when I do this, I also post in my Facebook group, I say, tell me your goals, PRV, calendar, like, do you have parties, etc. And then the last question is either something non-Scentsy, your favorite color, your favorite candy. I always put something different because I want them to read my post, read what my responses were, and then put theirs, because that tells me who's really reading it and who's just copying and pasting it from each group. So when you are also doing connection, you want to make sure that your teamies know about the important resources to help them grow. That can be the business references in the workstation, the marketing tab, knowing what's in compliance and not in compliance. It could be the news tab and the comp plans in there. It could be going to the Scentsy consultant store and seeing what opportunities are there for marketing. There's training Tuesdays that are offered. There's director leadership call on Mondays. There's YouTube channels that your upline will 100% recommend to you. There's so many different ways to connect with the workstation to grow. And there's so many ways to connect with home office. Like I mentioned earlier, attending a Scentsy event, like family reunion, world tour, incentive trips. I can say that I've never been on an incentive trip, but I've earned every one since I've joined. So, like, I'm excited to eventually go on one. Building the sense of community within your team is important because consultants can grow strong and boost each other's spirits during rough times of life. Consultants are more than just the numbers. I'm going to say it again. Consultants are more than just a number. Don't treat them that way. Don't ever treat them like that. Use any opportunity you can for team building ideas. Like I've done with my team, a paint and sip. We're going to be doing a movie night soon. They don't know this yet. Where we're going to find something that we can stream together no matter where we live. I've seen another team do a book club where they read a book that is not even business related and they just go over what that book is about. I've also mentioned like YouTube trainings. Find people that you connect with there. When you go to these events like World Tour, Family Reunion, you're going to find people that you've connected with through YouTube that you've never met. I speak from experience on that. I've met so many people through Scentsy. I've never met them in person until Utah recently. And I've looked up to these people because they excel in specific areas. I looked up to people for doing fundraisings like Wendy Heath Newgas. I've looked up to marketing people. I've looked up to people who do planners like Johanna Luna. I look for specific things and I'm like, okay, they do this well. I'm going to learn from them. And then I'm going to show my team who I've learned from, or I'm going to ask them to come train my team. Because if I'm benefiting from it, someone else is going to benefit from it. And if I said something like 7 times in a row, like you do with kids sometimes, if I say it one way and someone else says it a different way, it might click for them by somebody else saying it. So I want them to learn whatever they can that I have found beneficial. And finally, the fifth fundamental of focus on the 5 is replicate. Or like, again, I call it wash, rinse, repeat. One of the quotes in here is, if you knew a magic formula to turn rock into gold, would you only do it once? Of course not. You want to consistently replicate and repeat each one of these, because when you do it consistently, you are able to build your business deeper. Try doing time blocking if that's what works for you. If you don't know where to start, like I mentioned earlier, there is a planner that Johanna Luna has, and she has literally like team day, and it has like 5 activities on it, and it's on Tuesday. I think it's on Tuesday. And you can edit that to make it like what you need in your business, and then print it if you would like to, or keep it in a digital copy. There's another one. Someone just posted this the other day. It's time blocking, literally putting out what you need. And then I always say, don't compare yourself to others. Don't compare your journey to others. Don't compare your success, your failures, anything to others. We are like popcorn. We all pop at different times. Sometimes it's sooner, sometimes it's later. As long as you keep pushing forward and you don't give up, you will pop eventually. So, like I said, that's my training. I talk really fast. If you want any documents, let me know. And I'll, of course, put this up on my YouTube channel as well. And I hope everyone has a fantastic night. Thank you.